Oh no. So, I wrote a poem for Mother's Day, and I want to read it on here. I did already post it on my social media, so go check that out. I started on TikTok, by the way. But it goes like this. I'm sorry, Ma, that I never realized... Or, I'm sorry, let me start over again. Hold on. Do you want bacon or liver mush? Just pick one. Pick one. Which are the eggs? Get back to that. I already got my pan hot, so that's why I'm like trying to do two things at the same time. Alright. Give me a second. Y'all ever had liver mush before? It's like this brick of meat product, kind of like sausage, but it's got cornmeal in it. So if you've ever had liverwurst, it's just like liverwurst, but it's got cornmeal. It's a southern thing, I think. And all you do is pan fry it, or however you want to. It is a pork product. Where? I'll get back to that poem in a second. I already got messed up, so. I'm sorry, Ma, that I realized too late that all you needed was for me to sit and wait, for you to feel safe enough to tell all your pain, to listen without judgment to everything that you say. I understand now everyone told you to behave, to be on your best behavior and not say anything, because that's all you knew, that's all you taught, and now I'm here experiencing the same thoughts. I wish I would have known sooner the conversations behind your eyes when you were begging me to hear without ears the words you weren't saying, your soul's truth behind your masking lies. So speak it and be not afraid. You were never alone even to this day. Even if you never knew it, you were never insane. Happy Mother's Day to the strongest woman that I know, that had to go through so much just to show the world how to heal and grow. I wrote that not just for my mother, but for myself, for my children, for my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, and so on and so forth. And for you too, for those of you who hear me. You know, what I say is not just for myself, it's for you too. So, for the betterment of all. For the betterment of mankind. like to leave it a little bit separate on the pan so this way the edges get kind of golden too. Crispy deliciousness. I usually only cut it about like a quarter, maybe half an inch on the most. Like I wouldn't even do a half an inch, cut a quarter of an inch. And then add the mushrooms and onions and stuff while the liver mush is cooking. So it gets the oil from that as well. So you always cook your meat first. It takes a little bit for these mushrooms to cook down anyway, so I'll use those eggs after. I guess I could still use the minced onion. I don't know. The old glop of garlic. Like I said, a dollop of basil, it's a good dollop of garlic. I am going to use this, I'll use them later. I'll put the lid on it. Put some water in it. Don't worry about that. I rehydrate with the oils. Onion, minced onion, rehydrate it with the garlic and mushrooms and baby mushrooms. Anyways, I hope y'all like that color. I'll add the eggs and the cheese and stuff. Cheese last time. But I cook that down to rehydrate the onions and get the center of the liver mush cooked, because sometimes, you know, like you'll cook the liver mush and it's got like that weird like, raw center area. Same thing with the mushrooms. You want to get, it's almost like a pressure cooking it, in a sense. And it is still kind of soft a little bit, but give me a minute. I'll get back to this. There's a reason why I'm doing it. There's a reason why I do everything. People don't understand it. Alright, so now I've got this really awesome, like, little, almost like a sauce. And my eggs. That one was empty. I saved my eggs in my container. Just plop. Just now. Since we have that big ass box of eggs, I might as well go a little extra today. There's 6 eggs on there. Oh. 6 eggs. Plenty of compost. ASMR egg cracking. Break some eggs. Feels like I'm walking on eggshells. Guess what? I'm stuck. Yeah. Sometimes you have to play with it. Italian. I like them apples, which I didn't even put yet. Nope, brand freaking new. Totally could have used my fork. You saw nothing. No. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. Note to self. Use the lid. It's going to be very seasoned. That wasn't too much. Ah, get out of there. No heavy metals in my spices, bro. Lid on. I wanted to try something different today. I wanted to use chopsticks. I keep on hearing all this news about like Japan, Japan and China being like way more advanced than us and stuff. And I keep thinking about it like, well, yeah, because their focus is somewhere else. It's on advancement. It's not on whatever we're doing. So, oh, another thing I saw too was spaghetti pancakes. I might try to make those this week. I don't know when. I was gonna add something, but I decided not to. Big fluffy egg. Fluffy egg. Just kind of chilling out today. Taking it easy. I do have to go through the numbers. I did make the order yesterday. We got groceries and stuff. Something's about to happen, but I don't know what. So I was talking with this lady at the gym the other day about like the advancements in technology and stuff like that, and it was literally like a very fast conversation. By the way, this person came up to me and started talking to me, so it's their fault. Um, so I started talking about, like, I forget what the conversation, what she said, but it was like, oh, my answer to it was something about, like, oh, the eyes are going towards the sky because that's where we're going. So the forced isolation, the basically dumbing down of the DNA, because everything that you learn right now is what's transferred to the next generation. All your experiences, everything that you learn along the way is transferred to the next generation. Unless you don't have children, then it's your experiences that you give to others is what you are passing down through your DNA, but it's through frequency instead. So, because you're giving that knowledge to another person, not instead of them experiencing it firsthand or through genetics. So, you have to learn to forgive yourself first. In pretty much all situations. So, to be able to pass that down to future generations, you would have to basically experience something, right? Y'all are on my washer. That's all. That's just like. I'm pretty sure there's a better way to cook it. But this is how I make it. So, my pile of nonsense. It's pile of nonsense. So, I'm going to grab him the hot sauce because he always ends up having hot sauce because my food's probably bland. I never really added seasoning because I always just let other people add the seasoning for what they like. Because what I like and they it's different. So, I've always kind of been like the people pleaser in cooking. Which in turn ended up not pleasing anybody because it was bland. Baby, you want your hot sauce? Which one? In the fridge? The sriracha? Okay, I'm not a spicy fan, but I like this honey racha from Heinz. Again, I'm not sponsored, it should be, but I don't really like spicy stuff, and I like this. me do that again. I tried. Made it sideways between both the stove and the oven. Stove and washer. You're right. What are you watching? Oh, never mind. Okay. That's why you don't ask your fiance / husband, partner, whatever, what they're watching. You don't want to know half the time. Okay, so I'm going to save those for the compost for later. Jeff said he's doing dishes, which, to be fair, he always does dishes. Because I fucking hate doing dishes. Bitch, I will cook all day long. I don't care. Speaking of which, I need to find some recipes for that chicken. I cook up the meals today. House chores is living room and 15-minute tidy, by the way. Do fries come with that shake? Good morning. Hello. Good morning. You don't like eggs. I will give you liver mush, but you're not going to eat it. You're going to look at it, sniff it, and walk away because you're a diva. Yo, what up? Right? Millennials unite. Is that even millennials? I don't even know anymore. Alright. Money, money, money. So rich. Anyway. Okay. What the fuck was I doing? I know I was doing my money before I came to sit down, but what the hell was I doing? Bud Light. I need to watch a Bud Light commercial now. Again, not sponsored, but old Bud Light commercial. I love you, man. You're not getting my beer. Oh, it was scary movie themed? Okay. What up? What up? What up? Ladies, I feel alright. Come on. Okay. So, they need to bring back that I Love You Man Bud Light commercial from 1995 for Father's Day. Just saying, just saying. Didn't think I had to cut my eggs, but okay. Hold on, let me cut my scrambled eggs. Men of Bud Light. Who is your favorite character from Scary Movie? Mine was Ghostface. I'll be right back. So, anyway, I haven't seen that movie in forever. Need to watch it. There's like a whole series of that, isn't it? It's like Scary Movie like 12. Shit. I don't know. Asking whoever's listening at this point. I'll be lucky to have one viewer on my stream. So you're the lucky person today. Filthy Fresh. Oh yeah. Filthy Fresh brought up some good memories. Mm. I've seen so many new like ghost face like memes and images and stuff like that. It's super cute. And like photo shoots. Oh, good morning. Well, afternoon. Hello. What? Tell Daddy to feed you. I don't know what your food is. Okay. So I don't remember the names. There was a dude with messed up hands. You touched him. Yeah. He still does that. Like he doesn't. He's not like in it anymore. But like he still makes jokes about it, about the mashed potatoes. I think he's got a TikTok now. My hand. Put my hand in the mashed potatoes. Mm. Yeah, I don't quote me, but like I think he's either got like a YouTube or a TikTok now, so you might want to go check him out. He's still a comedian, or at least he still does funny stuff on his TikTok. I respect the grind. Still stirring up the taters, yeah. That's funny. After all these years. Oh, I don't close that out, evidently. Dang it. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I tend to talk to myself, so y'all get used to that. So yeah. Let's see. Another thing that's scary is how many freaking clothes I have that I can't use. So I'm doing a spring cleaning bulk sale on my eBay. eBay. Does anybody buy from eBay anymore? Or do they just buy TikTok? Because I mean, I did go live on TikTok for an online yard sale. I don't know how that went. I got a lot of viewers, but they didn't understand what I was doing. Because everybody buys everything brand new, you know, from these sellers online. And they're talking about all these people like in other countries and stuff, and like they just hook up a treadmill to a drop cord in the middle of nowhere, and they're selling these clothes, right? So I'm like, well, if they can do it in the middle of nowhere, why can't I do it here? I've got clothes. I can sell clothes. Let me just show them the clothes. So, yeah. Outfit change. I mean, I look like I don't have any clothes on, but I do. They still use eBay. Yeah, I mean, right now it's the only site that doesn't really charge a shit ton. But the sale per item is a little, I guess like $1 something per item for the charges from eBay, depending on how much you sell it for. But I don't really sell anything over like $10 that much, because all my stuff's thrifted, or it's from my personal stuff. Anyway, so, but like if you try to sell on Amazon, you have to pay a certain amount up front, a month, I think, to sell on Amazon. And TikTok, for some reason, like they offered for me to be a seller, but then like when I went to go become a seller, like it kicked back that I was declined. So I was like, why fucking invite me then if you're going to decline my invite? Anyway, so
So I just decided to go the easiest route possible, which was eBay. And I advertise my eBay on here and in my social media. Y'all check out my link tree. It's in my About Me section. And I also do Amazon links, so I'm an affiliate for Amazon. And so yeah, and then I stream. I do the unschooling, and we pretty much for the unschooling we pretty much cover most of the topics that are baseline, right? So last time I bought from eBay, it was a T-Mobile Sidekick for like $50. A little tricky with selling. You have to, for anybody that's going to go into eBay to sell, make sure your weight of your item is correct after it's been in the packaging. Because if you post something to sell and the person, eBay automatically sets up your shipping and everything, right? You have to go in there and adjust it to how you want it. And I try to go the cheapest route possible, like for me and the buyer, right? So I think it automatically sets it up for priority. I don't know. But anyway, so if you don't have the weight correct, it's either going to charge you more, which comes out of your eBay money, or it's going to kick back. And then you're going to have to do like a resend because you've already printed off the ticket. You've already printed off the... So like when you're putting the items... Okay, let me scratch that. Start over. You set up an eBay account. You have an item. Say it's this item, right? You want to sell this, right? I have to make sure this item weighs a certain amount, right? So it's like a pound and 1 ounce, right? So, because I got liquid in here. Anyway. But if you put like 8 ounces, they're going to charge you that difference out of your money. Because when you post your item for sale and someone purchases it, the difference in the weight is taken out of the money because the money's put on hold. So you don't get your money right away. You have to wait. So the purchase is made. You're able to have the money there to front you for the shipping. So the shipping evens out, right? As long as that weight is correct. Then, because that was my mistake. My mistake was when I first started out like 6-7 months ago, was that I didn't have the weights correct on my actual, on the eBay account. So when the orders were being made, it was actually dipping into my profit. So, these are the lessons that you learn as you go along the way, right? And so when I changed it, I was able to go back in there and change the weights for each one of those because I finally got a scale. And so now what I do is I print from home. So on my eBay account, I can print directly from the eBay account my shipping label from my computer to the printer. Now I don't have a sticker printer thing. I just have a regular printer. And I cut the image of the shipping label and I tape it to the bag or box or whatever. Then I reweigh it because the price that I put on there or the weight that I put on there was before the packaging. I picked the lightest weight packaging, which is a bag. It's like one of those plier bags or whatever you call them. Out here. They're really thin. Like I said, most of the stuff I'm selling is clothes, so. But yeah, they're like little mailers. Peel and stick flexible mailers. This is literally like $5 at Walmart, okay? And it comes with 25 bags. I'm not a big seller, so I don't need a whole lot. But these things are pretty much lightweight as possible. The sticker, the sealer comes with a sticker on it already, so you just peel this off and it sticks, which, by the way, does take a little practice. Because that bitch is sticky. And it rips the bag if you try to pull it off the bag. So, I learned my lesson once. Saved the bag since then. Another thing is this tape. For me, like I said, I don't have a sticker. printer, so I have to tape everything to the bag. This will rip the bag. So, so there's some downside to it. You're going to have a little bit of frustration at first, and like I said, my cost up front, if I'm purchasing a thrift item, my cost up front, because you have to do a P&L, and then I triple that. So this way I can cover if there's any selling costs, and I want to make a profit. So this way I could buy 2 of whatever it was that I just sold. So when I filter that finance back from the account back into the purchase, it's like a whole cycle that ends up happening, right? But right now, I have my numbers so low that I'm not really seeing a profit. I've only seen $500 in sales in the past 7 months, but my actual net worth, or net whatever my cash would be, was only like 100. I was anticipating only making 10% off of this. So I hit my goal personally, but it's not what I'm wanting to reach. But I got to my first goal. So I would start, I was told, because I asked people around if they did it too, and they told me start slow, start small, baby steps. It's going to take time to build up, which it is, and I've been promoting myself. So, and I promote myself, like I said, through my Linktree, but there's so much social media out there right now that if you're not in people's faces all day, every day, they have no idea who the hell you are. And they're not going to know because of AI. AI is going to end up taking over everything. All social media, robots and stuff like that are going to end up taking a lot of jobs. But there's going to be new replacing what was lost. So I don't know what the new is going to be. Just think about getting ahead of this AI that thinks like 1,000 times more faster than we ever possibly could. Is boggling to me. But anyway, I went on a tangent. Sorry. So yeah, I'll be spring cleaning, and I'll be starting to sell in bulk. Some of the items that I've had on there for the past 7 months, because I just need to move them. I need to get rid of them. I can't wait anymore. I don't like products sitting around. If I could drop ship, I probably would. But another thing that aggravated us is that it took up so much space in the closet and in the room for all the clothing and the items and stuff that I got, that it was just inundating everything. So, you okay, baby?
I was just listening to you.
Oh, I actually have a viewer. I think it's just off kilter a little bit. Yeah, it's those towels that are in there. At least I broke even. Well, I don't really know the numbers because I haven't really been like putting everything on paper. This was kind of like an idea I had that I was just like hoping it would work out. Kind of scratching at straws. Go ahead. Hannah here. He's tipping up the Hershey syrup container like I do because I go stand at the counter. I sneak the chocolate syrup out of the cabinet and I drink it out of the container. It is a guilty sin of mine that I do, and I have been doing it since I was a kid, and I still do it to this day, and he was making fun of me. So he's like, I seen you over there drinking out of like a chocolate container. I try to hide behind the cabinet, Sugar is my nemesis, but I love it so much. Especially chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. So yeah, he was making fun of me. You okay?
Yeah.
I was telling him you were making fun of me because I drink out of a chocolate container. But yeah. Yes, AI is fucking crazy and scares the shit out of me. I'm like the Sarah, I think it's O'Connor of like Terminator. I'm so anti-AI. But I was the one who did a 30-minute or 30-second pitch to Elon Musk asking him if he could put my living conscience into an AI so I could be a space representative and travel in space for the rest of eternity. So, so yeah. Drinking chocolate syrup from the bottle. Classic. Yeah. I have some guilty pleasures of my own that I enjoy. It's so funny. He's over there watching somebody else do a podcast while I'm over here doing a podcast. Or not podcast. What is it? Just streaming. He's watching somebody else stream while I'm streaming. I'm just like, watch my show. Damn it. We're around each other 24/7. So, give him some space, you know? Let him have some freedoms, right? Don't be a crazy bitch and, like, smother the fuck out of him. Wait, is that me? Yes. So. Oh, why did it, like, zoom out? What the world? It's supposed to be like that? Yeah. We're engaged, we're not married yet, but I feel like we've been married for a while now. You meet people that, like, you don't think it's gonna, like, work out that great, or, like, you're like, oh, well, this is fun. Let's see where this goes. Because you've been, like, so overly traumatized from the past that you're just like, fuck it. You're the next on the list, so let's see what you can do, you know? So, but yeah, you end up meeting people, and they help you to realize parts of yourself that you may never have realized before, when they're positive or negative. So, hopefully it's for the better. Yeah. Are you looking on the eBay? Are you searching for stuff on the eBay? Because I just found a Fonz doll on the search thing.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Okay, what was you asking?
What do you think? Who I'm talking
you say
to?
something about eBay.
Yeah. Did you use the eBay to look up stuff earlier?
Try to remember. I don't know if I had got. Remember that JJ doll was looking yesterday?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Okay, so I can't say I caught you. That was me. Okay. I was about to say, because it pulls up. Okay, so another thing is, I was trying to keep the eBay as clean as possible, so I wasn't searching anything on it. So it pulls up the trendy stuff. Little tip there. Everything that's top sellers, when you don't search on eBay, it's when you pull up eBay, it's going to automatically pull up the top sellers. Top items, trendy items, things that are selling right now, hot items, right? So I was trying to keep it as clean as possible, so this way it didn't pull an algorithm and show me random shit that I wanted to see. I wanted to see what everybody else was seeing. So my mistake was that I was using his computer to print out the stuff, and he started looking through the eBay for just whatever he was looking for. And so it started pulling up all that stuff on my eBay, on my side. So I was like, wait a minute, why is it doing that? Why is it only showing, like, I don't know, books? So, so I realized that he had been looking on the same site, and it already messed it all up. But anyway, and then I started looking at stuff. And yesterday we were both looking at stuff, so I can't say anything about it. I can still bitch, though. I'm a woman. It's bred into me to bitch about shit. So, on that note, back to spring cleaning. So, I'll probably just be putting together boxes or bags of stuff, and then if you guys want to check that out, go ahead. I did get rid of a lot of stuff, but I still have a bunch, and I'll be trading out. Once the spring cleaning is done, I'll be trading out for new items. So, excuse me. My budget, like when you do your budgeting, which we did yesterday, excuse me, when you do your budgeting and stuff, at least for me, I'm going to have to, and I didn't think about this before, I talked lightly on it, but like I didn't really like enact it, was part of the budget I have to add into it what money I'm going to allow myself to use at thrift stores to purchase the items for the sale site. I was at first trying to like say, okay, well, we're keeping it under like, I don't know, $10 a visit or something, you know? But then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, each item has its own weight. It has its own pricing. And I'm not going to go through and scan every single thing by weight in each price, right? So, because I use the bins. If y'all don't know what a Goodwill bin store is, oh my God, you need to request one in your state or your town. Like, tell your governor you need one. And I don't even like Goodwill, but it's being beneficial to me. So, anyway. The reason why I'm upset about Goodwill is because it's donated items and they're trying to charge Walmart prices. Okay? So, that's what pisses me off. They do go by weight, so it is cheaper when you go by the bin store. So, like clothing, they just up the price. It's $1.79 a pound. Okay? But for like electronics and stuff, it's like, I don't even remember. It's like pennies on the dollar or something. I don't know. It's like 50 cents or something. I don't know. Some shit. And so they have books, clothes, a ton of clothes, shoes, which I try, if I do get shoes from there, I try my best to make them like as pristine as possible. Purses, same thing with them. And then like household goods, no glass. I mean, if there is glass, it's very little bit because they have the bins and they have to throw everything together in the bin. You do have to dig through it. Fair warning. Bring a mask or gloves. This stuff is not washed. And have fun. And don't be afraid to like be in close quarters to somebody else because at the Goodwill bins, there are people there that as soon as a bin comes out, they're almost like vultures. And they'll go and they'll pick the bin for whatever their resale is for. Resellers are cutthroat. So I didn't think it was like that, but it is. And usually it's teenagers, which is crazy. So for those of you who are looking to make money, not a lot of money, by the way, but it is an option for you. Those of you who are trying to become entrepreneurs, just be aware that the work that you would have put into a job, you're now going to be all of the positions of that job. So like, let's say, for example, you want to go work at McDonald's or something, right? Your paycheck that they pay you is off of what your job title is, right? When you're an entrepreneur, you are all of those job titles, but you don't get paid for them. You're the one who decides how much we make because you're the one that's going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to do all of those jobs and not even get paid what you would have been paid just going to a place. Like I can go to McDonald's right now and probably make $400 a week. You know? I made $100 in 7 months. It's not a moneymaker. You have to work at it. You have to keep up with it. And not only this, but I'm personally trying to keep up with several things at the same time. And unfortunately, for me, it just seems like it's all baby stepping, like trickling. But the trickle has to happen for the flood to come, right? And you need 1 drop of rain multiplied. So, or 1 drop of water multiplied, same thing. Anyway, so when you're getting a trickle from your streaming, you're getting a trickle from your seller site, you're getting a trickle from maybe you're doing a yard sale. Maybe you're mowing grass. Maybe you're doing hair. Maybe you're making clothes. Maybe you're doing whatever you're doing construction work on the side. All of that little trickle comes in, and those nickel and dimes add up. As much as we are putting out, which we talk about all the time, we get nickel and dime all the time and every day, right? We get taxed like hell, especially in America. And so to offset that, you have to have multiple sources of income. It's no longer an option to have one income anymore. You just can't unless you have like 14 people living in your house. Okay? And everybody's pitching in. Maybe then. But but other than that, you're going to have multiple incomes, multiple sources of income. And I don't mean multiple full-time jobs. I mean something feasible that you can do within the time allotted outside of the hours of your regular job. Okay? A lot of people end up taking on, like, trying to eat the whole buffet at one time, right? And I do that. I do that all the time. I'm guilty as fuck of that. I'm guilty as fuck of, like, teaching y'all about that. But, and I also teach y'all about self-care, about taking the time, going back and reviewing yourself, looking forward and making plans, sitting in the right now and understanding everything that's going on around you. Sometimes there's different aspects of yourself that you have to pull and push, and you have this constant, like, motion that ends up happening in the world. You get constantly pushed and pulled from different directions and everything. And we always try to stay strong. We always try to stay in this one energy of just keep going, right? Which is accurate. You have to have that gumption to keep going sometimes. So, the best way that I have found for me to be able to keep going, is just keep breathing. Sometimes that's all you can do. And then other times, is make a plan. If you don't know and you feel lost and you feel like the world is just darkness and you can't feel the light and you have no idea where you're going and you're just confused, then be the light, right? Be the person. Show them what you're meaning. Show them what you're wanting them to do. Explain to people how you feel. Explain to them what you're thinking. Be open-minded, and not just in a sense of expression, but also in receiving. So when you have an experience, or if you have a situation come up, that way you can adjust accordingly to it. You have to be a chameleon in this world today, unfortunately, to be able to survive. But that's not my point. My point isn't for you to survive. My point is for you all to thrive, which is what I want to do. So, unschooling, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for traditional life. I'm all for that baseline of having a good, stable foundation to work from. And I don't care what country you live in, wherever you are in this world. The things that I'm telling you or talking with you about will work in your situation. And if for some reason it doesn't, let me know and we'll try to find a solution. But if you continue to watch the streams and understand my schedule and understand why I talk about what I talk about and the things that I say in my stream, those who need to hear it will hear it. And those who can't hear it will understand it maybe one day. And for those of you who don't ever understand it, just know that you're loved and that you're prayed for. You have to believe in something greater than yourself. You have to. Especially influencers. I need you all to be great leaders in this new world. The world that I grew up in is not the world the way it is today. And the world that you're growing up in is not how it's going to be when you get older. I know a lot of you don't see a future because there's too much chaos going on. But there is. You just haven't seen it yet. You haven't created the future yet. You are the creators. You are the people who are the creators of the new world. You're the creators of the future. I mean, no matter how much I say and do, I mean, yeah, I can give you a baseline to work off of. But ultimately, this is your life. This is your planet. This is your universe, your existence, your chance to be able to create the world that you want to live in and be there for others. Just like you would want someone to be there for you. So, yes, I am unschooling. I am teaching you things that you will learn beyond school. The way the world today is changing, yes, it's always changing. Changing is the only thing constant. And ultimately, to be able to keep up with those changes, you have to chameleon. You have to be able to adjust and adapt and overcome certain situations that feel impossible. You cannot see through the fog. You do not know what is coming. And that's okay. It's okay to not know. It's okay to be lost. You're the one who has to find yourself. But just remember that you're not alone. There's 8 billion people on this planet. And no matter how much you may feel locked in your mind, in your body, in your experience, in your surroundings, in your situation, you just have to free your mind. You have to allow yourself the opportunity to be able to think clearly, which means that you have to remain calm. A chaotic mind cannot think clearly. That's why I enforce self-care. I enforce a few moments of time every single day for you to think about, yes, everything. And it's a scary, dark place. And there's a lot of monsters in there. And I know that. I know it just as much as anybody else. Trust me. But it needs to be done so this way you can heal. Well, first you can identify the problem. Then you can start the healing process. When you start the healing process, yes, it's all mixed in with all this other bullshit that's going on with life. But once you start that, you'll start to notice that the world around you will start to come into place. Things that you wanted, things that you never thought that you would ever have, feelings that you never thought you would feel. Like I said, it's going to be a scary ride, but you're going to be able to do it. I need you to believe in me and in yourself. Ultimately, yourself. Okay. So, I know I went on a little tangent there, as I always do. House chores today is wash curtains and blankets, which I already started doing that. Workout Wednesday today is bag prep and plan. The bag has already been removed. Clothing has been packed in the bag. I do not bring my bag to the gym anymore. I'm afraid of somebody like taking my shit. So, I don't go into the locker rooms that much unless I go to the bathroom or something. So I don't have that, but we are working on core, less sugar, more water, all summer long. International history is today. I know I was talking for about an hour here already, so I'm going to get into this. AP News is the site that I use. If you guys have a better one, let me know. I try to keep it as neutral as possible. Fair warning, anything that I say on here is being read off of the AP News website. Going to be starting in the first tab for World Israel-Hamas War. I'm only going to read the top headlines. I'm not going to dig down. We're just going to touch base on what's going on in the world today. Again, trigger warning for all of you. An Israel plan to seize Gaza Strip is met with alarm. Israel says it has disabled Yemen's main airport with airstrikes against rebels. Gaza aid dries up as Israeli blockade enters a third month. Israeli bulldozers demolish most of a West Bank hamlet, displacing dozens of Palestinians. Trump says only 21 hostages held by Hamas in Gaza now believed to be alive. The Netherlands wants to force a review of the EU ties with Israel as concerns grow over Gaza. Why is an end to the war in Gaza so elusive? Photos show children facing malnutrition and hunger as blockade enters its third month. Takeaways from AP's reporting on child malnutrition in Gaza. Witnesses and aid groups report a surge in looting in desperate Gaza. Groups fear Israeli proposal for controlling aid in Gaza will forcibly displace people. Top UN court wraps a week of hearings on humanitarian aid to Gaza. UN officials urges Israeli to lift aid blockade of Gaza and calls it cruel collective punishment as of May 1st. In the Russian-Ukraine war, Biden calls Trump's pressure on Ukraine modern-day appeasement in first post-presidential interview. Ukrainian drones keep targeting Moscow as foreign leaders arrive for Red Square parade. Ukraine drone attacks briefly shut down Moscow's international airports. Putin says he hopes there will be no need to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine clash over ceasefire proposal and fighting rages on. A young couple in Ukraine delighted in first love, and then the war came for them. U.S.-led efforts to end war in Ukraine look favorable to Russia, but mixed signals emerge. Ukraine and U.S. have finally signed a minerals deal. What does this include? At least 9 dead in drone strikes after U.S. and Ukraine signed minerals deal. U.S. and Ukraine signed deal giving U.S. access to country's valuable mineral wealth. Young couple in Ukraine, like I said, Costco shoppers. No, that's not. That's an ad. Hold on. Ukraine says Russia hits civilians again as Kyiv derides Putin's 3-day truce offer. If Trump abandons Ukraine, can Europe help Kyiv fight on? The clock is ticking to answer that. And that was as of April 29th. But as clearly, he's already signed a deal for minerals. So, in China, the more Trump talks about making trade deals, the more confusing the tariff picture gets. The sweep of history courses through Jia Zhang's Caught by the Tides. I can't say her name. Jiazhangke. Caught by the Tides. Wall Street wavers as China soars up its economy ahead of trade talks with the U.S. about an hour ago. Russia's hosts world leaders for the 80th anniversary of its defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II. Russia hosts world leaders for the 80th anniversary of its defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II. I thought we... Okay. So Catholic faithful at the Vatican anticipate the start of a papal conclave Which members of the College of Cardinals will elect a successor to Pope Francis? Didn't they just get a pope? Why are popes dying so fast? Supposedly that's biblical. All right. Federal Reserve faces tough balancing act between fighting inflation and spurring economic growth. China rolls out more stimulus and agrees trade talks with the U.S. as tariffs hit economy. Top U.S. officials meet with Chinese delegation in Switzerland in first major talks of the trade war as of yesterday. Russia says Putin will travel to China in August. Zhao's title success at World Championship shines light on snooker's growth in China. Threatened by Trump's tariffs, Japan walks a delicate tightrope between the U.S. and China. Asian Pacific. India fires missiles on Pakistan. Islamabad calls it an act of war and says it's downed Indian jets. A deadly attack on tourists precedes India's strike on Pakistan, and here's where the rivals stand. India and Pakistan face a new crisis. A look at their history of armed conflict. India fired missiles into Pakistan, which vowed to strike back. A look at nuclear rivals. A man with a knife slashes 2 people at a Tokyo subway station and is arrested. China rolls out more stimulus and agrees. Australian BM Albanese to visit Indonesia in first overseas trip since re-election. North Korean leader urges increased artillery shell protection amid alignment of Russia. Private Japanese lunar lander enters orbit around Moon ahead of June touchdown as of yesterday. Associated Press finds no definitive evidence to change credit for famous Vietnam War photo. Zhao's title... I already said that. Cardinals wrap up pre-conclave until still uncertain who will follow the Pope. The body of a truck driver whose vehicle fell into a sinkhole in Japan is recovered after 3 months. North Korea and Russia begin building their first road link. Chinese authorities say 22 people killed and 3 injured in a restaurant fire in northern city of Liaoyang. Anyway, that was April 29th. I'm going back a little too far, I guess. Latin America. Venezuelan opposition members leave Argentine diplomatic compound over a year are in the United States. Puerto Rico governor under fire as federal funds for solar projects are stalled. Thousands march over concern Panama bending to U.S. government. Colombia president warns of plot to remove him as former ally calls him a drug addict. 5 people charged after migrant boat capsized, killing 3, including a 14-year-old boy from India. Indigenous Catholics hope the next pope shares Francis's approach to native people. Hope floats in the Amazon as Bakuri, a young manatee, fights for survival. Measles jumps borders in North America with an outbreak in Canada, Mexico, and in the United States. So be on the outlook for measles. If you don't know what measles looks like, look it up. Looks like a blood blister or a rash. Symptoms begin typically within 7 to 14 days after exposure with predominance of fever, malaise, and cough. Fever with measles increases and peaks at 103 degrees or 105 degrees. Symptoms. Measles are highly contagious, vaccine-preventable infectious diseases caused by measles virus. Other names include morbilli, rubella, 9-day measles, red measles, and English measles. Vitamin A deficiency is associated with a higher mortality rate in measles. Rashes, high fever, cough, runny nose, red watery eyes. Yeah, so if you develop like a cold and all of a sudden you notice that there's a rash on your body, you need to go to the emergency room. So, especially if you have children or if you're young and you like to hide sickness, please be very, very aware of this. So yeah, I thought we got rid of measles a long ass time ago. I guess we didn't. Okay. In Europe, the conclave to elect a new pope officially begins as the doors close to the Sistine Chapel. What to know about the election? Journalists chronicled the Nazi surrender to the end of the World War II in Europe. New German government plans to boost border controls to curb migration. The Netherlands wants to force a review of EU ties with Israel as concerns grow over Gaza. Day 1 of the conclave at the Vatican to pick the next pope. Oh, I keep saying that over and over again. Russia hosts world leaders. Friedrich Merz stresses European unity and defense during first trip as German chancellor to Paris. 18 minutes ago, Trump designates Thursday as a day for the U.S. to celebrate victory in World War II. Greece and Egypt reaffirm their commitment to an undersea power cable. Slovakia's leader rejects an EU plan to halt Russian natural gas imports by the end of 2027. See, okay. If you actually step back and look at all of the news and don't pull in specific information because it'll show itself. It will stand out like a sore thumb, right? The truth behind all of this bullshit will stand out like a sore thumb, and you will really get to see firsthand. If you're really listening to me, you will get to see what's getting ready to happen in the world. How bitter wartime enemies France and Germany built a friendship that underpins the EU. Romania's hard-right election frontrunner Simeon seeks to capitalize on voters' discontent. EU seeks to halt Russian gas imports by the end of 2027 and ban new contracts already this year. Rwanda says it's talking with the U.S. about taking in third country deportees, and here is why. Okay. Europe. Oh, I think I already did that one. Africa. The motherland. All right. Mali's military government is suspending political parties' activities, state TV says. Sudan's parliamentary unleashes drones on key targets in Port Sudan. Rwanda says it's talking with the U.S. about taking the deportees, not detainees. 2 Belgian teenagers found with 5,000 ants in Kenya given $7,700 fine or 1-year prison sentence. Okay. Tanzania court orders an opposition leader who is on the hunger strike to appear in person. In Cameroon, Civil War, spoken word poets speak the unspeakable. Yes, speak your truth. Nigerian teenager sets world painting record with canvas that's bigger than a soccer field. Rare diseases often go undiagnosed or untreated in parts of Africa, and a project seeks to change that. Struggling Ivory Coast cocoa farmers are worried about U.S. tariff plans. Zimbabwe stone carvers seek revival as an Oxford exhibition confronts a British colonial legacy. A horse therapy program in Namibia, brings joy to children with learning disabilities. How a cooking contest brought diplomats and Zimbabweans together. South African Party launches legal challenge against new diversity and equity labor law. And the U.S. says Congo and Rwanda submit a draft peace proposal. Cardinals wrap up pre-conclave. Poachers have killed over 100 rhinos in South Africa this year. Most were in national parks. The UN's top court dismisses Sudan's genocide case, alleging that the Emiratis funded RSF rebels. Africans say it's time for the first pope in 1,500 years, but they're not holding their breath. Thousands rally in Burkina Faso in support of military junta, a followed alleged coup attempt. New generation of Maasai warriors are born in Kenya, as of April 28th. In U.S. immigration, new German government plans to boost border controls to curb immigration. A man with open asylum case was deported. His lawyers want to know if there are others. New York PD launches probe into why it gave records of a Palestinian woman's sealed arrest to ICE. 5 people charged. Oh, migrant. Europe's human rights watchdog urges Greece to end summary deportations of migrants. No immediate decision in the case of Tufts University student detained for 6 weeks. U.S. says $14 million program with Panama for removal of migrants has funded 2,000 deportations. In one day, 2 separate judges rule Trump improperly used the 18th Century Wartime Act against gang. As of yesterday, man charged in Georgia slaying cited by White House amid immigration crackdown pleads not guilty. Rwanda confirms early talks to host deported U.S. migrants. Trump administration says it will pay immigrants in the U.S. illegally $1,000 to leave the country. Trump administration sues Colorado and Denver for allegedly interfering with immigration enforcement. As far as education, this should be interesting. Federal judge orders Trump administration to unblock pandemic relief money for schools. Hands tied, athletes left in the dark as NCAA settlement leaves murky future for non-revenue sports. A man charged with murder in the death of an LA area technical college dean. Columbia University lays off nearly 180 after Trump pulls $400 million over his anti-Semitism concerns. Montana Board of Education vows to improve how state teaches Native American history and culture. Alabama lawmakers approve tax cuts for food, diapers, and other items. Michigan school shooter loses appeal in bid to withdraw guilty plea in 4 deaths. A tax on college endowments began in Trump's first administration, and it could soon rise. As Trump battles elite colleges, House GOP looks to hike endowment tax by at least tenfold. Scripps National Spelling Bee tweaks its rules to make a spell-off tiebreaker less likely. In abortion, Trump administration asked judge to toss suit restricting access to abortion medication. Investigators don't know who leaked a Wisconsin Supreme Court draft abortion order. Texas Senate okays effort to clarify medical exemptions under state abortion ban. Judge paused old Nevada law requiring parental notification for minors to get an abortion as of April 28th. And they are resuming abortions at a Wyoming clinic after a judge suspended laws as of the 21st. LGBTQ. These are the U.S. Cardinals who will vote for the next pope. 4 key challenges await the next pope. Transgender women soccer players to be banned from women's teams in England and in Scotland. U.S. funds supported Nepal's growing LGBTQ plus community, and now that money is gone. High Court reinstates enforcement of Ohio's ban on gender-affirming care for minors during appeal. Trump does impression of transgender weightlifter after Alabama speech. Pennsylvania Senate votes to ban transgender athletes in girls' sports, but bill faces uphill battle. And as of April 29th, they had LGBTQ models showcasing Lady Gaga-inspired outfits at the Rio de Janeiro train station. Let's talk about some weather. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. Rescue crews recover the body of a 10-year-old girl lost in the Texas floods. Tourist boat capsizes in sudden storm southwest of China, leaving 10 dead. Heavy rainfall sets records and washes out roadway in rural Oklahoma. New Zealand hit by destructive winds, heavy rain and snow, and high waves. 2 dead as slow-moving storms flood across Oklahoma and Texas. Unusual May snowfall caused power outages and falling trees in Moscow and in the region. Puerto Rico authorities rescue 3 U.S. tourists stranded in river as heavy rains persist. As of April 28th, a man in Puerto Rico died trying to drive through floodwaters amid heavy rains. Don't drown, turn around. Storms with lightning and hail hitting upper Midwest with the potential for strong tornadoes was as of April 28th. Notable deaths. Or no. Okay. Sorry, let me go back to U.S. News. House Republicans push to sell thousands of acres of public lands in the West, Nevada, and Utah. Turkish Tufts University student detained by ICE will be sent to Vermont appeal court rules. FAA fixing problems at Newark Airport while planning to overhaul of U.S. air traffic control system. Most airports are operating smoothly on the first day of the Real ID requirement. Now, as of 6 minutes ago. Now, for those of you who don't know, from this point, from today going forward, if you are wanting to fly or travel, you have to have what is called a Real ID in the United States. I think there are more requirements when you're signing up for the Real ID. It's basically, in my understanding, it's basically the same thing as a license, just has a little star on it. So, kind of reminds me of World War II a little. Yeah, because didn't you have to have a star on you? You had to have a star on you to travel during World War II. Jewish star. The Yellow Star of David badge was mandatory for Jews in Nazi-occupied territories, including Germany, Poland, and the Soviet Union, to identify them for travel and other purposes. It was a mandatory ID badge in 1939. The government introduced the mandatory ID badges for Jews in Poland, requiring them to wear a Yellow Star of David badge on their back and front. Wearing the badge had to pay for the stars, and responsible for the distribution. Any person who broke the order faced severe punishment, such as fines, imprisonment, or death. Same thing. Variations of badges, different badges for different regions, such as the Yellow Star David on a black field in Germany, Yellow Star David with the word Jew in Germany for local language in the right. It was mandatory for them to wear a star during World War II for them to be able to travel. So history is just repeating itself. That shit's crazy. Anyway, controllers briefly lost contact with newer planes before wider flight disruptions. Mark Carney says Canada won't be for sale ever. Trump says never say never. Everyone's got a number. More news. Inmate transferred to Oklahoma by Trump administration declined clemency and set to be executed. Actor Michael Pitt charged with sex abuse and assault of ex-girlfriend in New York. Trump designates Thursday, which is tomorrow, I guess, as a day the U.S. celebrates the victory in World War II. Well, it's a victory day in Europe anyway. Victory Day for World War II. We offer our unending thanks to every patriot from the greatest generation who left behind his home and family to fight for our freedom in distant lands, Trump says in his proclamation signed on Wednesday. We honor the memories of all those who perished. Above all, we renew our commitment to keeping America and the entire world safe, secure, prosperous, and free. World War II ended on May 8th, 1945. But we just enacted a mandatory star for travel. Anyway, there's one thing in this world that you have to learn. You have no control over anything. Ultimately, none of this matters. Just remember that at the end of the day. Just keep going. So, anyway, that's it for international and local news. Okay. And like I said, as of the gym and stuff today, like I'll just be doing core. I've been drinking more water. I did get a hydration system packet. I've been really sore lately, and I don't know if it's maybe because I'm dehydrated or maybe if it's just like I just feel like irregulated right now. And so I'm thinking that overhydration might help flush my system and be able to help me feel a little bit better. Plus, it might help me lose some more weight because I did gain back some weight since I moved here. Let's see. Goodwill today. Confirmation. I'm going to have to look at the numbers real quick. I'm still finishing up my every dollar from yesterday. But I'll have to set aside a certain amount of money to be able to bring to Goodwill with me. So this way I'm not dipping into other funds. Going back into the cash envelope system, making sure that you're not pulling from one envelope to another is going to be beneficial for your success moving forward. So, and then today's cleanup is just the house. Like we just need to I have all the windows open right now. I'm just going to be basically like going through everything, cleaning everything, and just like try to spring clean as much as I can. And anything that I'm getting rid of, I'm just going to go ahead and add to my eBay. Today was wash day, so I did get a new shampoo and conditioner. It was Fructis. The one with like the little oil pill thing on it. I can't remember what kind it is. I started using that today officially, so I'll let you guys know what I think about that. I was gonna go with a curly hair routine, but I'll be honest with you, I just don't have the energy. Curly hair routine. And then power down. For the love of fucking God, I'm gonna go make a charging station right now. I literally had to take the sheets off the corner of the bed so this way I had nowhere to lay down at, just so I would wash my sheets this morning. It's like you have to get pissed off at yourself sometimes to get shit done. So, yeah. Anyway, I forget why I even opened this today. Oh, Amazon links. Duh. I didn't do the Amazon links like I said I was going to. So when you're sharing your Amazon links, if you become an influencer or an affiliate of Amazon, when you sign in, it's the same sign in as your regular Amazon account. If you don't have one, you can create one. It's free. So when I signed up for the influencer or associate link, they give you this thing called a site stripe, and it's a little tab across the top of your regular Amazon, and it says get link. So what you do is you copy that link and then you post it in your social media, along with like imagery or like words or whatever. And that link, when someone goes to that link, they click on it. Like if you go to my Amazon affiliate link in my About Me section in my Twitch, or if you're on my YouTube, I'm sorry if I haven't updated it yet. It should be in my link tree at the very minimum. It's like the first link. So below the tabs, just anyway. But if you see Amazon link, if you click on that and you purchase anything on Amazon like you normally would, you don't get charged extra, but I do get a commission off of whatever you purchased. So like a couple of pennies off of whatever it was that you got. Last month, I had one person buy one item off of it, and I made 53 cents. It was like a $10 item. So I don't know exactly what the percentage is on that, but it's low. So it's not like you're going to be giving me thousands of dollars, and you're not going to be getting charged anything. You're buying like you normally would, but you're just using my link. So I can get a commission off of it. I'm utilizing every aspect that I know to do in the background to bring money in until someone hires me, because I lost my job in 2020. I was making a lot of money and I was working in corporate, and I lost my job. And ever since then, I have not been able to recuperate since then. Ever since the wreck, my life has been upside down. And I feel like, even though it's been 5 years, I feel like I'm just now starting to finally get my feet on the ground, and have something for myself again. I've been struggling very, very hard the past couple of years, just trying to survive. And for those of you who have been following me, thank you so much. For those of you who are lurkers that watch my thing, but you don't have your name show up and you don't make comments and stuff, thank you. For all the people who have helped me during my life, really, but during this time, it means the world to me. And I know that I may not have always acted, like my actions have not always shown how I feel, So if I seemed ungrateful, I hope you accept my apology, because I don't mean to be ungrateful in your energy, in receiving your energy. And I hope that you know that I love you and that I wish the best for you and all that you do. Um, and I mean this for everyone in my life. Um, just understand that, if you've made mistakes and you feel like everybody hates you, that it's okay to make mistakes. We're human. And yes, people may look at you differently, but you're still you. And you still have the rest of your life to live. So make it the best that you can. And forgive yourself first. And then just take half a day at a time if you have to. I usually try to talk you guys through a lot of stuff on here. So, and I really need to go back and rewatch these sometimes, because I really, a lot of times I'm talking to myself most of the time, because I only have one viewer half the time. And then on top of that, like when I'm going off on these rants, my brain is just going and I'm just talking about whatever is on the top of my head. And I honestly almost am not even realizing what I'm saying. So, like I've said in the beginning when I first started streaming, and I'll say this to the last day, if I've offended you, you need to ask yourself why. So anything that I say on here, if you need to hear it, you heard it. So, all right. On that note, I'm going to go back to what I was doing before I started streaming. Income verified and Snap users actually get half off of Prime, just so you know. So that if you guys have any work from home things that I can do, or if you guys would just like to pay me here, it'd be great. So just pay me. Money makes me happy, right? It's not the money, it's what I do with it. And whenever I get blessed, I try to bless others, but I've come to realize myself that I have failed in a lot in that in the recent past. So, on that note, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And until I see you again, behave.